Most bankers aren't ready to help you until after their third cup of coffee. But with Central National Bank's after-hours service, you don't have to wait for the bank lobby to open to get help. You can contact us from 6 to 8:30 in the morning or from 5 to 10 in the evening, and we'll connect you to a real, live, local person who can answer questions and fix problems 7 days a week. Bank different. Bank Central. Central National Bank. Member FDIC.
This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Welcome back to What's Up Waco, the podcast that loves to introduce you to the people, the places, and the properties that make Waco an excellent community to live. Hey everybody, welcome back to What's Up Waco with your host and local real estate agent, Erica Boisvert. Today I'm joined by Kelly Campbell, owner of Looks Like Home, Cottage Bakery, and so much more. Actually, Kelly, hi.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey, I'm glad to be here.
We've said hi several times because I've had to repeat myself. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's so fun.
It's so crazy. I know we've talked about this, but it's so crazy to just say Cottage Baker because you do so much more.
I do. Yes. Yes.
So, author,
yes.
entrepreneur. You have all these hats, and we were just talking about this yesterday, pigeonholing women and putting us all in little boxes, and it's just not a thing.
Exactly. The Cottage Bakery is really, I guess, the foundation of what I do. Maybe the starting point.
Like the springboard?
Yeah,
okay.
Definitely. It was definitely the starting point. It still kind of is. But yes, I am a local cottage bakery. Mm-hmm. Cottage bakery just meaning that I can bake out of my home under Texas laws. And so it's great where I can still stay home and be home with my children and my family. But beyond that, I'm also a digital product creator as well as an author.
Yes, ma'am.
And the Christian Women's Networking Director here in Central Texas.
I know. Look at all these things.
Yes, I know. I like to say that I wear many shoes instead of many hats. Because I like shoes.
Shoes are good.
Shoes are good.
It's probably a better analogy, too, because you are up and at it and working and walking and getting things done.
I am. Yes. I am a go-getter by nature, self-motivator, self-starter. So, yeah, it works in my favor. I figured if I'm going to be that, might as well do it.
Right? Lean in.
Yeah, exactly.
So how did this whole baking empire start?
Well, several years ago, we were just throwing this out there. We were in a very tight spot. We are predominantly a one-income family. I am a homeschool mom to 4 kids, and things were tight. And so I figured I want to do something without going to have to get the 9-to-5 job where I can still stay home with my family. And I figured I love to bake. Like I've always loved to bake. I'm Italian by nature. By nature. Let me start that one over. I am Italian.
You are.
And so it kind of came natural for me growing up in that atmosphere of home-cooked meals and things like that. And so I figured I'll just go ahead and just bake. And so I did. Basically what happened one fall, I was baking pumpkin bread for my family. I pulled it out of the oven. I actually snapped a picture, posted on social media, and just jokingly said, "Who wants a slice?" And I had several people kind of reach out and was like, "I'll buy a loaf," And that's kind of how it started.
Nice.
That first year, I was able to kind of help with Christmas. By the second year, I was able to pay Christmas off completely for our family.
Nice.
And I figured, okay, there's something to this. So that's kind of where it started. So it went from literally making pumpkin breads to gingerbreads. And then people started special requesting certain items, certain products, hey, will you try this? Will you do this? And so now I actually tapped into the sourdough world where I make sourdough sandwich bread. That's kind of like my specialty, as well as like cinnamon rolls or different flavor, quote, quote, cinnamon rolls. And so that's kind of where it started for me.
I love cinnamon rolls.
Oh, me too.
Oh my gosh.
All day long. That and kolaches.
Yeah, a good kolache.
A good kolache.
No offense to some of the mass-produced ones.
We won't name names.
I mean, I'll still eat those. Don't get me wrong. If
No
you
shame.
listen, you know I love food. So
No shame in that game.
I'm not turning down some cheese, meat, and bread, but yeah. I'm not. Okay, I think it's funny because a lot of people that I know that started the whole sourdough trend or jumped on board during COVID. It's just become like a lifestyle, I think. It's almost like once you start sourdough, it's all the homesteading begins. If you're not already, right?
It's true.
It's like a gateway drug.
It is. I've seen a meme that says, give me a sourdough starter and 50,000 acres to go with it, you know? Or
that's all?
Yeah, that's all. And some chickens. But yes, the sourdough, I would say that is a gateway. That is a very good way of describing it. For me, I think that I'm one of those people that if everybody's doing it, I don't want to do it.
Ooh, okay.
And so
that's why we get along.
Yes. And so a kind of like maybe a pioneer, you know, taking my own path type person. But I think too, with the age of information that we're in, people are starting to realize how healthy sourdough is and how much better it is for your gut, for all these things.
Okay. You mentioned, I don't mean to interrupt, but that's how this rolls. You said that yesterday.
It was yesterday.
It was yesterday. What are the, because I don't think I've ever looked at, I just saw the trend and I was like, yeah, I don't have time for that. But I didn't realize there was gut health benefits or other. What are the benefits?
It's just because it's fermented longer. It's naturally yeast. And so that's pretty much what it is. It's, I mean, without getting too complicated in it, it's just because that it sits and it's in its natural fermentation that it's actually better for your gut.
Like probiotic-y?
Very much.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a word now.
Yep.
Just in case you need to use it. in your writing. Probiotic-y.
Probiotic-y. I'm going to put that in my next ebook about sourdough. It's probiotic-y.
It's probiotic-y. Yes, please do. I'll read it and be like, I coined that. I coined that term.
You did.
Okay, so I see now that I had no idea that it was healthy. So they're healthy cinnamon rolls.
There is.
Hey!
Yes, exactly. So you can eat as many as you want with a clean conscience.
Absolutely. No guilt whatsoever.
None.
Okay, but this has also blossomed into more. So what about your digital products? Like, how does that play in?
So basically, for that, it was more of like reaching a broader audience. And helping. So I guess I would say that I've been doing the quote, quote, cottage bakery for several years now, maybe close to 10. And I've had several people just reach out to me and like, how did you get started? What do you do? And I love helping. Like, I mean, that's what it's really about. It's about helping other people who are trying to, you know, find their way or do their thing or, you know, follow their passions. And so, but I start realizing that, my time is valuable too.
I was going to say, do you realize you're one person?
I know. So, but I decided to actually create, like my latest ebook is about helping those who want to start a cottage bakery. And not just in Texas, but across every state.
Okay.
And so, so it helps, you know, oh, you can scratch that one. Anyways, so across every state. And that way people who are interested in starting a cottage bakery, whatever product that they want to start, it doesn't have to be sourdough. They can do cookies or cupcakes or whatever they choose to do, whatever floats their boat. And so, so that's why I've just started creating a lot of these digital ebooks to help people, whether it's recipes, whether it's getting their sourdough started, whether it's becoming a cottage bakery, all these things, all the information that I had to learn, sharing that and giving that out.
So you just like pare it down and say, here's what you really need to know. Like you don't need to Google.
It is
just look at this
mercifully short, simple, easy.
Is it like a checklist? Like check.
Pretty much. Yes. Because I'm a checklist person.
To-do list.
Yes, me too. Give me just like this. Okay. So what's step 1, step 2, step 3? That's kind of how it is.
Okay, good.
So, yeah.
Are you a jump to recipe person? Like I don't need to know that you were raised in the Alps and that you have goats in your backyard.
Yes. So on my website, it's true. So on my website, I actually have a blog on there as well. And I'll put on there sometimes like, I know you don't want to hear about the mumbo jumbo, so let me get right to the recipe. You know, you just want to know that my kids liked it and it was a major hit. And you don't need to know about the weather. You don't need to know about my cat getting sick. I don't have a cat, so I don't know why I said that. But you don't need to know all that.
But that stuff does come up. Yeah, I mean, paragraphs.
Yes.
And even sometimes, I'm sure it's helpful for some people, but like the accompanying videos of how to. If it's something I've never done before, sure, yes, please. But if it's like sauteing ground beef, I'm like, come on, pass.
Exactly.
Just get to the
nitty
gritty.
And I
love
actually
that.
write out my recipes. Like I know a lot of recipes that you'll see. It's like get out half a thing of onions and chop them till they're very fine, and then you're gonna put them in the skillet, and you're gonna saute them for like 5 minutes. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, like maybe some people who don't know how to cook need that, and that's okay. But I feel like a lot of that just comes natural for anybody. So it's like a lot of the recipes I write are just like cut up your onion, throw it in the skillet.
It's recipes for moms who don't have time and already know.
Exactly. And that is actually what my niche is. It is for busy moms who, like you said, don't have time, but they want to provide quick, easy, healthy meals for their family.
Yeah.
Without like, wait a minute, I have to, like, it's going to take me an hour to read the recipe before I get started. No, thank you. So
ingredients.
Yep. Ingredients to do. Bam, bam, bam. Yep.
To do, to done.
To do, to done. Serve, enjoy, have fun.
And there is a place, I think, for some people, like my daughter could definitely use this is how you put the ground, she's young and she's learning.
Yes.
And, but yeah, for those of us that are maybe a little more tenured in our mommyhood or our parenthood, we definitely can skip.
Knows their way around the kitchen just a little bit. And
so
there's
you're
a
more
time
like
and place
intermediate.
Yeah, that's a great way. Intermediate but simple.
I love simple.
Yeah, me too.
I don't want to be a chef.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean,
I like to feel like one sometimes.
Right? I know. I did tell my husband the other day, I was like, will you buy me one of those chef's uniforms? You can get them on Amazon. Just do it.
I just need some black striped pants and a chef's coat.
and
maybe some clogs. Maybe a hat.
You
got to have the clogs. Or I guess you could say like Crocs. Like, I don't know.
I don't know either. Or barefoot.
Why not? You barefoot, yeah. So, okay, that brings up questions. The cottage laws.
Yeah.
Are there like inspections? Because I told you I've got a long restaurant history. So for me, that was always,
right,
what we were working toward.
In Texas, it's actually, they are pretty, I hate to say the word lenient, but they are. And there's a whole website of Texas cottage laws that you can look up.
Okay, we can link that in the notes.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it'd be great for anybody who wants that information, who's kind of like, I want to maybe do a little side income or side little business, or, I love to bake and everything. Go Texas cottage laws, and you can look that up and everything. But Texas is actually pretty lenient. I would look into getting your food handler's permit. It doesn't cost much. I think it's less than like $10
or something.
Yeah, exactly. So for those who are wanting to go that way.
Okay. Well, we can link that in the show notes, and so people can, check that out.
Yeah.
What else? So, I want to know how it felt, because what we haven't touched on is the fact that you didn't start your business in Waco. Yeah. You had to restart.
Yeah. Definitely.
So how's that? That's quite a transition.
It was, and it's a lot of hustling. So I'm not originally from Waco. We've been here for 7 years. The place that we moved from was actually like the Belton, Harker Heights area over there.
Okay.
And so that's actually where I originally started with the Cottage Bakery and just kind of baking, the pumpkin bread and gingerbreads and everything. And it was seasonal, obviously.
Sure.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with making a loaf of pumpkin bread in the spring. But anyways, it was seasonal. And I was doing really great, and people were already starting to buy and regular customers. And then we moved to Waco, and I was thinking, okay, I'm going to have to start completely over because nobody knows me.
Yeah.
So hustling, starting over, and adding product at the time, like different recipes or different, baked goods or yummy treats and things like that. And just posting and being intentional about getting my name out there, getting my stuff out there, letting it be seen, lots of freebies, lots of giveaways, give me a shout out, things like that. So yes, there was a lot. And I'm still like kind of breaking ground a little bit too, because I'm starting the sourdough now and not the yummy treats of, the savory stuff. And so, or the sweet stuff,
the sweetbreads.
Yeah.
So you're coming in with sourdough, and you're coming into, I feel like kind of a culture where there are other like cottage bakers in town, obviously. Yeah. But I feel like, and in most of the interviews that I've done on this podcast, a lot of people have found it to be a very supportive community to start a business. Would you say, was that what you've noticed?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think so.
Same experience.
Yes. It seems like there is I mean, I think like anything, you can look at it as, wow, there's a lot of competition,
Mm-hmm.
or you can look at it as, okay, there's a lot of ways to collaborate.
Sure.
And so, I think it's a great place I think people, once you get to know people, it's an easy way of saying what's working for you and what's working for you, and
Yes.
just kind of helping. Because if you think about it, nobody, even in their personality, nobody's the same.
Mhm.
And that reflects in what they're doing. So even though there might be like 100 people doing sourdough, they're all not doing it the same way. So you got to find your creative edge, your original edge, and go with that.
Well, I think one of the smart things that you have is your subscriptions.
Yes.
That's amazing. Do you want to talk about those?
Yeah, absolutely. So I actually offer sourdough sandwich bread subscriptions. I have 3 subscriptions to choose from. You get, depending on the subscription, but each week you get a loaf of bread, whether it's 1 or 2. Some subscriptions come with the treat of the month.
That's the one I like.
I know. So like there might be, like some of those cinnamon rolls we talked about in there, or maybe even a cheesecake. And then
cheesecake, special request.
I know. Exactly. Special request only. Yes. Or maybe some sourdough chocolate chip cookies, anything sweet that I make, anything, along those lines. But yes, so the sourdough sandwich breads, it is a monthly subscription.
Okay.
And even if you're thinking, well, I don't even want to do that, but you can gift that to somebody.
Oh gosh, what a good idea.
Think about sorry, I'm going to do this. A real estate agent who just needs a gift to, give their buyer or seller. It's a great gift to give somebody who just bought a home, some fresh baked bread.
Heck yeah. That is a good idea.
Yeah. And so, but yes, because my thing is like, I love the fancy sourdough bread. I love the, you call it artesian bread where it's cute and it's scored. And I love doing that. And I do that for my, you have to, that's what it's called when the decorations on the top. It's called scoring. And I know.
Like my patience I can watch those videos.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, that's neat.
Yes.
I could not sit down and do it. I would lose my mind.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to bring a ready-made dough to your house and I'm going to let you just score it. Wouldn't that be fun? It'd be fun.
Okay.
Yeah. You would get to cut bread.
I don't know if that's on my list of, can I drink wine while I cut the bread?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
There's no rules.
My husband listening is like, sharp objects in wine? I don't think so, ma'am. I'm a little clumsy.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
They do look so beautiful.
They
and
do.
I could watch, like I said, I can watch those videos. The end result is gorgeous.
Yeah. And I love those.
You.
I love the artesian loaves and everything. Like I said, I make them for my family, but the sandwich bread is my thing. That's what I love to do for people and everything. And the loaves are usually pretty big. I know nobody can see my hands. I know
she's kind of like a good size loaf.
It is a good size loaf. And so, and then also too, under special request, I can do all the inclusions in the loaf, like a jalapeno cheddar or a caramelized onion and white cheddar.
Oh, wow.
Or
that sounds good.
What was the other one I do?
I don't know. Do you put fruit inclusions?
Why not?
There you go.
Why not? Like
special request city.
Yeah, exactly.
See?
So
anything, it's bread.
It's
your dough.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You're like, yep, that's it.
Yes.
That's the business plan.
Exactly.
Put whatever you want in it.
That's right.
Oh gosh. Okay. And then, so for me, like sourdough at first, I was like, no, because all I think of is that old school San Francisco style sourdough that is so sour. Like, I didn't like it. And then, I've had some of like the local and it's not sour.
Right.
So I don't know, like so San Francisco style is totally different than what most cottage bakers and local people are making.
I think so.
I would think.
I think so.
It's neat. Because to me, when because I have a friend who does it and she makes a lemon blueberry loaf. And I was like, that sounds like a whole lot of sour. And it's not.
It's not. Yeah. And that's how my dough is. It's not super sour at all. I think it's just how long you ferment it too.
Okay.
So. Yeah.
And then you said that you have tips and tricks for how to get your starter started.
I do. Yes. I have an actual ebook on how to get your sourdough starter started. And it just takes 7 days. And then by the 7th day, you're ready to start making loaves.
Does weather affect that at all?
It can. Yes.
Okay.
And in fact, when the weather back in May, when it was raining a lot, and it was starting to get like really hot for May, my starter was not starting. It was very
it was a non-starter.
flat. Yeah. So I had to like kind of, and it sounds like for those who are like wanting to like start sourdough, it sounds like so scary. Like, oh my gosh, like it's not. I just know what to do. You'll know what to do. You know, it's like tying your shoe. You'll figure it out. And but I had to actually just kind of change the recipe of feeding it a little bit so it wasn't so runny. So it actually like became very bubbly and
see. That's
ready.
where I am like, I'm sorry, you have to feed it. Like, what are we doing, Kelly? What? Why are we feeding it?
I mean, these things are like a part of your family. I know people who they name them.
Stop it.
They do. They name their starters, their mothers. That's what they're called. They're called mothers or whatever. They name them. My girls keep saying, Mom, you should name yours. I don't know if I want to do that. If I did name it, it would probably be Queen, maybe. I don't know.
You're like, I don't know. Let your girls name it.
Yeah. I don't think they have a name for it.
I'm
yeah.
like, you should pick their brains and see where they're going with it.
Like, but yeah, people actually
Sally
name their
Sue starter.
because it becomes a part of your family. So feeding it, look, you're going to get a lot of information that says you got to feed this thing every day. It's got to be a certain amount. You've got to discard. Okay, don't get. Okay,
do I have to go get mealworms? Like I'm just kidding. I know, but like, what do you add more yeast? Like, what do you?
Flour and water. That's it. That's it. That's all feeding it? Your starter is just flour and water. It's that simple. It's that simple. Yeah, it's that simple. And then over time, the natural fermentation of the two ingredients will cause it to just bubble and be ready to be put in your
Wait, there's
recipes.
no yeast?
No, it's naturally yeasted. Yeasted. That's a new word too, I
think.
Hey,
look at that.
Probiotic-y
and yeasted.
Yeasted. We're doing good.
This is taking a turn.
Yeah, so you feed it and
that's it? It's flour and water?
Flour and water. And everybody says, feed it every day. I don't. Like, let's just say that I was going to make bread tomorrow. I'll feed it tomorrow morning. I don't let it go past a couple of days without feeding it because then it'll actually start.
Die.
It could die. Yeah. Get flat, yucky, not yucky. That was the wrong term. Please say that. Please. I serve yucky bread.
No, but you're saying if you don't take care of it, it could get yucky. So that's fair.
Yes.
You have to. So you're saying you take care of yours.
Super simple. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is some science I'm going to have to look into because I totally thought you added yeast. No. But it's naturally, you have said it a few times now. I'll get it. I'll get it just 5 more times and it'll stick in my head. This is why I'm just going to buy your bread.
Yeah. There you go.
But I'm asking because my mother-in-law will probably look up your ebook for her because she's been, I don't want to call her out and say it's been challenging.
Yes, it can be. My first starter died. And I totally said, I'm not doing sourdough. This is just too complicated,
Get me back to my pumpkin bread.
Exactly. I will just stick with just mixing it in a bowl. And and then I was like, I'm going to try it again. Like, I'm one of those, like, I don't want to give up too easily. Like, I'll kind of, like, stop for a bit and then, like, okay, I'm ready to get back on it. But so round 2 and my starter is still going strong. And so,
nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
still going strong from years ago.
Yes. Yes. So my starter is about, I want to say like 3 or 4 years old now. So yeah. And it hasn't died. So it's super simple. And honestly, like,
you guys can't see this, but I'm making this face at her like, what? I'm going to look this up and I'm going to check out this science. But
yeah,
I haven't dove into this sourdough world, which, I'm also
it's
like
not
a sweet
as
bread.
Scary.
I'm like, just give me my pumpkin can.
Yeah.
Do you make pumpkin bread from scratch or do you use canned?
I use can.
Okay, no, I'm
Yeah.
just curious.
Yeah.
I've thought about doing it from scratch.
Because I'm actually growing pumpkins in my garden right
Ooh.
now.
Those things
Hopefully
take over,
they
man.
last.
Oh.
Oh my goodness. The first one died, but so I would love to do that for my family. I kind of experiment on my family first,
Sure.
because I'm real big into like, if I can grow it, I want to eat it. I want to figure it out. I don't like anything going to waste in the kitchen. I'll figure out a purpose for it.
Yes.
And so that's just kind of the person that I am. That's kind of how I cook food for my family. But yeah, so I would love to try that for my family first.
That's what I was thinking for this fall.
Yeah.
We'll see.
That to me is authentic. Like, I love that.
But then I'm like, but Libby's, they're so good at what they do.
I know, exactly. There ain't nothing wrong with that either.
I'm just saying, and it's fast. Okay, so also you have started the Christian Women's Networking Group here in Waco,
in
Central Texas.
Yeah, Central Texas.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
So how's that? Like, how did that come about?
Okay, so it actually is, I would say, fairly new. I started it last May, so May 23.
Okay.
I had wrote a book, and I was talking to another fellow author friend about it, and she was like, Kelly, this is, look at this like a business. Look at this as something that you're doing or whatever. And I was like, wouldn't it be great to just have a place for anybody who is a business owner or not anybody, but a woman-owned business owner or a woman leading a ministry to be able to collaborate together. And then I was like, I'll just start one. Again, self-starter. Like, I'll just do it. And so within that week, I started the Facebook page. I got a hold of a graphic designer, had them, create the logo and the branding and all that kind of stuff. And I started it. And it literally it's a place, it's where the marketplace and the ministry meet. And this is a place that whether you have been a professional for years and years and years, or you're just starting out, or you're trying to figure out what you want to start, this is a place to go where you can grow, where you can launch your stuff, where you can seize your opportunities, and just honestly, like, networking together. Like, I don't think people realize how important networking really is.
So important.
I didn't either until I actually started stepping into that world of like meeting and greeting. And I mean, we met through a networking.
We did.
And it's great. And I think people need to understand that it doesn't matter if you're just doing this over here. Like, if that is important to you, it needs to be shared. It needs to be, broadcast. It needs to be out there for the public. And
we need to get rid of the just.
You're
not just.
You're not just, you're not just, you are doing it, and that's actually kind of the mindset I had after I wrote the book. I was like, well, I just wrote a book. And my friend was like, no, this is what you're doing. And I was like, I guess so. So I had to take myself serious as an author. And sometimes I forget that because I do wear many shoes. And and so
I do love the many shoes. That's fun.
Take yourself serious,
I know. I'm so excited to read this too. Thank you. She brought me a copy.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Thanks.
Okay, so you're just kind of killing it.
I hope so.
And you have found Waco to be a welcoming environment.
I love Waco. Yes. So a little backstory. Several years ago, I used to rodeo here in Waco.
Oh, I forgot to ask my husband.
Yes. And so as a teenager and and then I moved here and I was like, oh my gosh, I love Waco. I'm glad to be. I tell my kids, I'm like, y'all are Wacoans. Like, that's what you are. This is what we are. And so
I think if you can, claim that you came here to rodeo, you pretty much, that seems fair to me.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So I love that because I think if people look at Waco on TV and the only information they have about it comes from Netflix documentaries or HGTV shows or Discover, I don't know if whatever. It's like a little podcast. Nobody cares. Then they're not actually seeing Waco and what Waco has to offer. And they're not seeing the diversity of Waco either. Like,
that's right.
At all.
That's true.
It's a very diverse place, but it's a great community. It's generational.
Yes.
But not in like a cliquey, keep you out kind of way.
No, not at all. I haven't found that. I haven't found cliquey. I haven't found, being excluded or anything. I have felt very welcomed here. But I think wherever you go, it is what you make it.
That's true.
And
That's
so
true.
when I came here, I was like, this is going to be my home. This is going to be the place I make roots for my family, for myself. And so I dove in,
Mhm.
and I don't regret that, because I think that's what you have to do. You have to dive in, or you do exclude yourself.
That's fair. Yeah. If you
Mhm.
isolate yourself and you're not connecting, then
Then
you're
you're
not
isolated.
going to like it.
Exactly.
It is
So
what you make it.
It is. And this is one of the things I love about Waco. To me, it's so family friendly.
Yeah.
It's so family. When we moved here, my kids were really little. And so we had the zoo, we had the Mayborn, we have all these things like
true.
that. Now that they're getting older, we have other things to accommodate our family. So
Mhm.
it wasn't just a city for youngs or a city for olders. I mean, like you said, it's generational.
Mhm.
It's for everybody, I feel like.
It is. It
It's
is
really
a
great
college
place.
town,
Mhm.
but I like that because that means there's more
Mhm.
businesses that have moved in.
Yeah.
But it's not overwhelmed by students, and it doesn't die when the students are gone. Like
Yeah.
it's very like I
Yeah.
guess we're just gonna kick generational around a lot today, but
Yeah,
it really does have a lot for everybody
it does.
and in all seasons.
I don't know if y'all want this on there, but I'm actually from College Station.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah, that's
so okay, yeah, so I'm from College Station, so that is a college town,
Very much.
and you could feel it, and
Right.
there's a different vibe here than
Mhm.
it is there. Even though the Waco is a college town, you still feel the family atmosphere. I
Mhm.
don't know if I
'Cause
feel
it's
that
not-
too much.
It's not just like the college isn't the only thing
Exactly.
that we have here, right?
It really is something for everybody.
Yeah, agree.
Mhm.
Well, I'm glad that you found a spot here
Me
and that
too.
you're just making your way and you've
Yeah.
been very intentional
Yes.
with it. So
Yes.
I know
Yeah.
that's definitely part of why it's been so successful for you.
Well, thank you. I hope so.
Yeah.
Keep growing and going.
Heck yeah. Is there anything that we haven't mentioned that you want to touch on? We've got your subscriptions. How about what's the best way to get in touch with you
Yeah,
when they're ready to
so-
start their subscription?
Yeah. So my website is lookslikeHomeWithKelly.com.
Okay.
You can find me there. You can also find me on social media, Facebook, Kelly Campbell, or Looks Like Home with Kelly on
Okay.
Facebook. Also on Instagram, Looks Like Home with Kelly.
Nice. Perfect.
There you go.
Across the board.
Across the board. There you go. And so, yes. And so I actually offer many other things that you'll see on the Facebook. I mean, not Facebook, on my
On your
website.
website. Okay.
My ebooks, my products, things like that. I also do home cooked meals, just other things. I mean, I'm just very intentional in the kitchen, and
Okay.
like I said, I want to make things easy for that busy mom out there.
Mhm.
So let me be busy so you don't have to be.
Nice.
So,
There you
all
go.
Little tagline there, and yeah, so that's where they can find me.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. We will have those links in our show notes if you want to check it out. But please, please, please jump over and check out lookslikeHomeWithKelly.com. Look at all the things. I'm thinking about the subscription because we go through some bread in our house.
Mhm.
So thank you so much for listening. And hey, everybody, that's What's Up, Waco.
Do you have a topic you want to talk about? Do you have questions about Waco, the real estate market, how to sell your house, what to look for when you're buying a home? Send me an email, ericasellstexas@gmail.com. Shoot me a text, 254-447-0180. Happy to chat about it. Find me anywhere you listen to your podcasts or at roguemedianetwork.com.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.